Hello, everyone. Okay, so I want to do an updated video on the price action because we're having a run now with a very strong candle. So I kind of wanted to lay out the groundwork for what we are expecting. Pretty much just a brief recap. We broke the 15. We had some major events going on. Bitcoin tanked. We had a whale dump, but we recovered, and then we went right back to the 15 for support. And now we're rallying off of that. So this is what I meant. If you've been watching my last few videos, this is what I meant by the lower you get it below this line here, this 15 mark, the easier it is going to be for a return because it's going to seek equilibrium and it's going to bounce really back. Just think about pulling a rubber band back and letting it go. This is why we're getting these larger candles now because it's seeking equilibrium for where it was. So that's typically what happens when you have some events that kind of artificially push something down from what the market believes is fair value. So after those push down effects, after those scenarios are gone, it quickly seeks fair market value. So this is why we're seeing these really big candles here. So what we're positioning ourselves to do, and more than likely, based off of this candle, it's very possible that we can actually run and test 18 today. Now, testing it is not the end all be all. It's certainly an indicator that there's still strength in the market and that this trend here still wants to run. But the biggest thing is going to be closing above it. Certainly closing with conviction. Now, if we have like a extreme big candle and we close above 21 where we were previously rejected, like this 2021 mark, then of course that'll unlock that next area. Then we'll have to start adjusting the numbers here. So what we ideally would need is to close somewhere between 18 and 21. That will be absolutely phenomenal as far as setting up this new trend. And we could have an emergence of a new one here. So we'll see where this closes at. We'll need another like day or so, but we could be starting a new trend here. So we will certainly see how this shapes out over the next day or so. Now, the important thing is I haven't checked prior to this video, but we're going to check here. We have some shorts that came in at around the 13-14 cent mark because the tone was it's going back to 8 cents, it's going to 10, blah blah, so and right now we're going to see if the shorts are well, we're not going to say if they're correct because obviously we know that we're building momentum the other way. So but if you are in a short position, you're probably getting nervous right about now, and this is the turning point where I meant they probably should consider getting out. Because if this gets away from them, we're going to look at another situation where they're going to get wrecked again. So let's see if they are running yet. Not yet, not much energy at all, but they're still there. We'll see if they close these positions. Going forward, I think that if we certainly close above 18, we're going to see some of them come out of those positions here. But we'll know that this minimal movement here, we have a 1.92% increase. So it looks like there is some bearishness betting that this isn't going to sustain itself. This we'll certainly see. But again, even if we're comparing it, it's not as big as the initial one. So when I have that covering, it probably won't have that much effect on the price action like this one did. But it certainly is fun to just watch them run and cower whenever they bet against Doge. So they'll do this periodically as the run gets more. As a matter of fact, let me go back. They'll do this periodically as the numbers go higher and as we get deeper into the run, you'll start to see candles and things like way up here. Like don't forget that zero is down here. So you'll see like these really big candles here. And even if you go back and you'll see like these huge spikes here over time. And don't forget 2021. We'll probably see something. Let me go back. Like these candles here, right? These candles here were off the chart here. They were short in 30, 40, 50 million. And don't forget, this is just one chart. So this isn't the end all be all for shorts here. This is one chart here. This is one exchange that's reporting. So I use this as an idea to kind of get a feel for what the market is doing. So whenever you see this, it's highly probable that even the numbers that we're reflecting here are much higher than what we're seeing here. This is just kind of getting a feel for the market. So, but it's highly probable that the shorts and stuff that you're seeing here is much higher. So I'm just kind of getting a tone and taking that into effect. But overall, we can expect there to be massive shorts going forward. But that's the beauty of it, because when we have situations like this, let's just say for 25 cents, they're saying it's going to go, it's overvalued. We think it's going to go back to 15, and it doesn't at those higher prices. When you cover, that's a lot more volume coming in. And if you couple that with futures, oh man, see, things can get interesting very, very quickly. So I'm really liking the how things are developing for Doge thus far. So this is, I think this is going to be a very unique run, and it's going to be very different from the previous run. No, I'm just kind of getting sidetracked here, but I want to point this out because I've seen some comments saying that about the $2-3 thing, and I still have my projection of around $1.40. And again, if I'm wrong, I will be glad to be wrong about being too low on where this can go. I don't mind being wrong, but the unique thing this run is that it's not tied to like an SNL event or so much to Elon. Dogecoin is building out and standing on its own, and I think that's the best thing that you can do for the longevity of the coin. Now, obviously, Elon being a pioneer, and I'm not saying we don't need payments on X and stuff. Obviously, those would be of huge benefit to the coin, but the fact that Doge is rallying, it's still mimicking its previous cycles. It's getting the volume here. It's expanding. The growth of the community is expanding. It's going into completely new sectors, and it's doing all of this without tweets or constant pushing from Elon. So this is really, really good for where this coin is going. And I think that's what's going to be the difference in this new cycle. It's not necessarily hype driven and just to the moon comments and stuff like that. It's built a foundation under, like, it's starting, like the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. It's not like, oh, we believe Doge is undervalued. Why? Because it is. That's not the case anymore. We believe Doge is undervalued. Why? Because the community is growing. Why? Because we're building out into different sectors. We're offering futures. There's going to be much more exchanges going on different platforms. Why? Because we're expanding to X, and we're going to have payments, and people are going to be holding Doge all across the world in their different wallets. Why? Because we've generated over 1 million wallets in the first 3 months of the bull market, and people are taking positions inside of the coin. And typically that's indicative on where the sentiment of the coin is, and a clue as far as for how the coin and the wallet holder and exposure is going to expand in the future. These are the reasons that it's kind of building that foundation underneath the coin, where you can say, you know what, I believe this is going somewhere. I believe we haven't seen the best of Dogecoin yet. And that fate love irony comment from Elon is starting to shape itself. As I said in a few videos ago, you can't. It's going to be a time in the near future where you're going to have to, at least the media is going to have to stop referring to Doge as a meme or a joke. And nobody's laughing anymore. Like as we are building out these revenues and different avenues in different sectors, it's not a laughing matter anymore. Like, especially when we start moving up in the top 10, nobody's going to be laughing. It's going to be, oh wow, I should have taken it more seriously. It's going to be one of those things where I should have taken it more seriously earlier. So again, sorry, I got a little sidetracked, but I wanted to put that out there as it came to mind. I didn't want to lose it. So as I said, what we're looking at for today is this 17 to 21 mark, right? Obviously, even if we close below 18, it's not bad. It's not the end of the world. It is absolutely phenomenal that we're showing strength here. But ideally, at some point, we know that we have to retest this 18, and we have to break above it. And that opens up like that next area for the run here at around 20 cents or more. So what we're looking at is there's a couple of scenarios here. We could close below 18 or go to 18 today and get rejected, which is fine. We're still on track here. We still have the capability of going out for another few weeks, like that first week of April, second week of April, which is, it kind of aligns because typically you'll see that window of opportunity here before like the halving. And then after the halving, you have a little bit of time, and then Bitcoin just absolutely takes off to the heavens. So that aligns up. We have a few more weeks. If you were not able to purchase down here, if you were able, or if you're one of the people that were thinking it was going to go lower, again, that's fine. It's not necessarily trying to time the market, but just kind of understand and decide within yourself what you want from this bull market, and consider coin count over DCA, in my opinion. Now, if you believe that Doge is going to go to $1 or even reach its all-time high again, is it worth trying to save 2 pennies a coin versus getting the entire spread from 17 to $1 versus 15 to $1? Like, depending on how much money you are investing, again, just consider that. Is it worth missing out on investing or not investing because you didn't get your specific number for 2 pennies? So just kind of keep that in mind, because it's going to be a day where we're arguing, well, not we, but the community is going back and forth over whether or not to save 2 pennies. And, roughly around 3-4 years ago, you were getting 1 Doge for 50 cents instead of, 3-4 Doges now. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. The higher this price goes, the lower amount of Doge that you get. Like, don't lose sight of that. So the same money will get you less in the future. So just kind of keep that in mind now, where while people, I'll say, not gonna say we, but while people are like bickering over like 2 pennies and stuff like that. So just kind of keep that in mind for our appreciation and the timing of the market, because we can't time it. We don't know. We could see a situation like this where the 21 to 25 resistance levels, and then Doge does what it did initially here, which no one saw coming, no one expected it. I'm making videos talking about 12-cent resistance and blah, blah, blah. And it blew through all of that. We had 9 consecutive green days. So if that happens again, then all the targets in the low 20s will mean nothing, and we're going to be charting out 30. And then it's like, okay, well, I was planning to buy at 20 when it got rejected from 25. Well, you have to adjust. So again, just going to keep that in mind here. Doge is running early. Doge is running aggressively. So we're going to, pretty much have to try and keep up with Doge. Now we have a interesting roadmap to kind of say, okay, where should we typically have problems? But Doge is showing itself to be much more aggressive this run, I'll say. So with that being said, that is my price update. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We are going to hit 100,000 subscribers this year, and I want you to be in that number. Have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section. I'm still working my way through the comment section, so my goal is to be completely caught up by Monday. I still like to try and reply to everyone. So please do leave a comment and a like, and I will get to you. So with that, I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys in the next video.